So if you would, let's please give Jim a warm AAPA welcome.
Thank you, Chuck. Thank you very much for that. And good morning. Good morning. It's great to see your bright and sparky faces here in Nashville. If you'll join me for a moment, I'll give you an example. Everyone raise your arm and wave your hand once before your body. You've just altered the future. You see, the future responds to your command, physically and mentally. When you move your hand, the universe moves. It's called the ripple effect. It's subtle, but it's inevitable. And when you move your mind, you're talking major change and massive ripple. Now, the probable future is when I finish this talk today, we'll all rise from our chairs and we'll go to our respective locations. The improbable future is when I finish the talk, we'll rise from our chairs, we'll go to the airport, we'll board a flight to Europe, and we'll spend the next 30 days on the French Riviera. Yeah. Sounds like a good idea to me. But you have to admit that both probabilities exist. Now, the question I'm asking you, and I would pose very clearly, is what does your probable future hold for you 20 years from now? Where will you be in the year 2037, 2038, 39? What new inroads will have taken place in the human experience? Will you have embraced the new technologies? Imagine the possibilities that await you. An explosion of information is bringing us into the future, some of us kicking and screaming. Now, we can be pushed, we can be led, or we can step forward with confidence. The choices we make will influence our journey. So how do we do this? Well, let me take a survey here. How many people here would like to have just a little bit more fun in life? Just a little bit more. Okay, about half of you. Okay. How many would like a little more money in their lives? Good, I got the other half. That was easy. How many would like a little more love in their lives? Anybody at all? Guys got two hands up back there. All right, we say we want more love, we want more enthusiasm, we want more of what the, quote, good life has to offer, and yet for some reason or other, we're not willing to make the mental and physical changes necessary to bring about the changes. Now, that's what Webster, in his best-selling book, The Dictionary, calls stupid. Yeah, I mean, you can't even have change unless you're willing to make the shift. Not only are they telling you what you're going to get, they're telling you what you're going to do with it once you get it. You're going to take off of work. You know what the problem is? Over 65% of the people who read this article are going to come down with the flu because they don't understand that just because someone sneezes in your face, you don't have to catch a cold. Just because you walk outside with wet feet and it's cold out there, you don't have to catch a cold. My dogs do it all the time. We were born at a very early age, folks. And we were taught when we were empty-headed and open-minded that we will receive extra toys, extra attention, and extra affection when we don't feel well. And boy, do we pull that out of people. I called my friend Joe back in Milwaukee, and I said, Joe, this is Jim in Palm Springs. He said, Jim, am I glad you called? Have I got a cold? And I said, Joe, try to imagine how little I care. Now, he said, what? You don't care how I feel? I said, well, not really. He said, well, why not? I said, why should I? Get his answer. He said, we started high school together. We started the University of Wisconsin together. Jim, we started working together. Okay, Joe, I said, I care a little bit. What's wrong? And here comes this huge bruiser coming toward me. Had a maroon T-shirt on. Now, he was about 6'2", 6'3", must have weighed 250, 300 pounds, big guy. Barreling down the street at about 200 miles an hour. You know, it was really a pretty good clip. And I was moving along at a pretty good pace myself, and we were on a collision course. So I figured one of us better step aside. So I did. I'm not going to confront him. And we got about a little closer than we are right here. I could actually see the whites in his eyes. And I looked at him, and I smiled, and I said, good morning. And his eyes turned away from me, He picked up his pace double time. He sped on by me. I could feel the breeze as he walked on by, and I said to myself, that's sad. We all live on the same planet. We all eat the same foods. We breathe the same air. We have the same goals, the same needs, the same aspirations. And yet, for some reason or other, we can't look one another in the eyes and smile. Well, the very next day, on the very same street, very same time, here comes the same guy, same maroon T-shirt on. I was about a block away, but I knew it was him. I was downwind. I mean, there was no missing this guy. We got about the same distance away, and I said to myself, as every single person in this room has at one time or another, I said, okay, Jim, now's the time to take a risk. So I looked him in the eyes and I smiled and I said, good morning. And he stopped dead in his tracks, scared the screaming bejeebers out of me. He pointed down at me and he said, do I know you? I said, yes, we met yesterday. You have a choice in designing your future by your attitude, the way you communicate, how well you listen, the way you observe, how confidently you speak, and just shine a little of that enthusiasm through you. You have the choice to design a future that's better than it is now, prospectively, or I wish for you that you are always blessed with high locker numbers because you're going to need them. I thank you so much for your kind attention. You have been a delight to be with. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jim.